Hi everyone, it's Jill Lancet, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. I'm actually in Greystanes, which is a suburb of Western Sydney. I think that's in view now. I've been mucking around with my computer, my little camera mount, and hopefully we've got it right now. Okay, so today we're going to make a really lovely little card, and it involves the masking technique with some masking paper and some beautiful stamps that I bought ages ago, and this is my first time playing with them. Shame on me. But I've got everything here. Now I'll show you the card. I'll just get everything out. I'm going to make it slightly different. So the technique is this masking technique here, and we're going to do that first, and I'm going to show you how I've done the rest of it. But pretty little card. This is a stamp and dies that actually cut out the wording, and we'll go through that in a minute. My online store is this address here, jilllancetstampin'up.net. Do put some comments if you need to know anything. I do answer the questions that go in the comments, or you can email me at that address there. This is the June host code, and it ends on the 1st of July. Now, as I said, this is the stamp set we're going to use. The beautiful Queen Bee. Look at that bee. Isn't it gorgeous? Why haven't I played with that? Anyway, we're going to be playing with the flowers, these flowers here, this little bee here, this little gorgeous little bee. And this is where the sentiment came from. It's called the Charming Sentiments. And we're using this one here. I love this one. Wishing you everything wonderful. I'm just going to turn that down a smidge. I live in a very busy corner, and there's lots and lots of suburban noises, so hence the music. Plus it helps me connect because I love music. So anyway, that's that. Now here's our card base. It is an A4 cut in half vertically, scored at 10.5. That's our card base. We'll pop that over there. We don't need that right this second. We need a piece of basic black, which is 14.4 centimetres by 10.1. Sounds like an odd size, but it gives a nice little border. The basic white piece is 13.8 by 9.5 centimetres. So we've got that little border. As I said, I'm going to make it slightly different, and we'll compare the two at the end. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is the masking. Now, this is a really easy technique. Now, I'm using the Stampin' Up! Masking paper, and the item number for that is 155480. And what size are they? A 5x7, and you get 12 in there. But you can use them over and over again. So I'll show you what I've done. Now, the first thing I did was I tore one sheet in half. I wanted it to get this variegated look. And I might even tear this one again so that it looks different, because you can clearly see that they're meant to join up there. So I might just do that. Just bear with me for 1 second while I do that. So I just wanted it different to what it was before. There we go. So I've just basically torn that. Oh, that looks a bit too neat, doesn't it? There we go. And what we're going to do is, with a bit of scrap underneath, let me just move all this. We're going to take our white piece, and I've got all the measurements here. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. but I'm calling it the Queen Bee masking technique, I think. So what I did was I just put, and I've de-stickified this. You can see the lint on that because I've put it on my clothes several times, and I've stuck it to the palm of my hand to de-stickify that. So I want it over this way a bit, and I am making it, this is the one I did before I knew what I was doing, before I knew what I wanted to do. So I want to put this about there. So we've got, it's stuck on there, okay? And I want to put this bit about, actually I might move that bit over a bit. We'll see. So I want it on there like that. We will move this bit over just slightly. And we're going to use our beautiful blending brushes. Now I've chosen two colours. I've chosen Azure Afternoon and Soft Seafoam, which you can barely see. I've got my two blending brushes here. And we want this to be extremely pale, a very, very light hand. Now I'll show you how to do that very, very pale, okay? So we're just going to get some ink up on there, and you can see I'm just tapping that, and yep, that's all I'm doing. Now, this is a very pale colour in any case, but I want it darker towards the bottom, so I'm going to start off the page, and oh, that's not sticking because that's where I've torn it. And I'm just adding this green very, very, very lightly. Now, if I hold the handle back here, I can get that to be very, very light. So I want to go about halfway with the green. Now, you might not even notice that on there. I think I've de-stickified that a bit too much. But it is very, very pale. And that's what I want, because I can keep adding layers of colour to build this colour up, but I can't take it off. Okay, so I do want it a little bit darker down the bottom. You can see this colour's building up now. So I want it about, oh, probably not quite halfway, probably this side of halfway. And I want it lighter towards the top and darker towards the bottom. Okay, so that's the green, and you're probably thinking, well, I don't see much difference there, and that's good because I don't want it very, very dark. Now this color is a bit darker. This is the Azure Afternoon. I don't know how to say that. Azure. I don't know. So I'm just, oh, see, tapping it off, and I'm just very, very lightly, very, very lightly blending that down towards the green. And we're pretty much done. That's how quick this is. Now the big reveal is coming next. Just pop those out of the way. Now this masking paper is very, very sticky. That's why I de-stickified it, for want of a better word. But as you're pulling this off, it's just be very gentle. Hold your paper and pull it against itself, like I'm actually running it along its own self. I don't want it to stick to my my card front. Now that can be reused. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just pulling that sideways very, very gently. And it leaves this really gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I hope you can see that. Now we're going to stamp on it. And we're going to do some other things as well. I'm going to bring my little box of tricks back here. We're using black baker's twine, and it came from this pack that has 5 rolls. It has crumb cake, grey granite, very vanilla, black and white. Now the other day I used the white. Today I'm going to use the black. It's very striking. I'm just going to pop that packet back in there so that that's out of the way. And the stamps are here. And I've already gone ahead and stamped and white embossed the sentiment, and I will cut that out in just a moment. So we're going to do our stamping now. So Memento Black, Tuxedo, Memento Black, and I'm just going to ink this up. And I did re-ink this ink pad the other day, so it's still quite juicy. Now, what I want to do is I want to move this over. That one was a bit too close to that edge, so I want to move this one over a bit. I want the stems to go off the bottom, and I want it to sort of come to this edge of this beautiful masking, this beautiful brush technique that we've done. So I want that to come like that. Yes, I do. So straight down. I've got a bit of a cup of tea. I've still got this stupid cold floating around. So I do need to have a drink every now and again. Okay. Now we're going to colour this. Now this would look lovely just in black. Just stamped in black. Oops, that's too much ink. And I'm putting our little bee up here. I just want to put him up like that. Isn't he gorgeous? Oh, she might be a she. She's got a flower in her hair. So I'm going to just clean those because, yeah, you have no idea how many times I don't know, lent on those, put a piece of paper in them, and that's the end of that. So now that's done like that, and I decided that the background is pale enough for me to colour those flowers in. So I've just got a couple of blends here, and the first thing I'm going to do is with the dark Daffodil Delight. Anywhere there's a centre to a flower, I'm going to colour it in yellow. Now you might not think that's making any difference, but I will show you at the end. And of course our little bee has a little flower. Oh, and her, dare I say her backside? No, her abdomen. So that's with the yellow. Now with the light melon mumbo, I'm just going to colour the flowers in. And there's a few buds, and they're very small, so go for the small point and just take your time. Enjoy the process of colouring in. It really doesn't take that long, and if you can enjoy this, you can actually sort of feel tension and stresses melting away. So we want to keep the integrity of the yellow centres, so don't go over those. And then I'm going to colour the leaves in. And you can see that that really hasn't made any difference to colouring in, the background I mean. It's that pale that, yeah, it doesn't show through. So we'll just finish these up. There's a couple more buds there. Feel free to fast forward this. If this is like paint drying to you, then you have my permission to fast forward through this bit. But I quite enjoy colouring. I find it quite relaxing, and yeah, can't talk and colour at the same time apparently. So that's all the pink. Oh, our little bee has a little pink flower. So there we go. So I think I did dark granny apple green for the leaves, and there's, yeah, that's the colour. That's the colour I want. Now these are really, really thin, so just take your time. As I said, you could have left this black. It would have been, you know, like a stark contrast. But I think having a hand-coloured card makes it all the more special, don't you think? And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, this is a handmade card, and handmade does not mean perfect. It means somebody put a bit of time and effort into it to create this for them, for the person. Okay, so that's our colouring done. Now I'll give you a bit of a close-up. Please don't be critical. I think you can see. Oh, I just spotted a bit where I haven't coloured that little bit there. Anyway, so that's that. Now, I have a cheap black texture, water-based brush texture that I'm going to use from now on to create that spatter. I don't want to wreck my good markers, so here it is. It's just a very light speckle of black. It just takes that. I have a thing about too much white space apparently. I always feel as though I need to fill it with something. I should challenge myself more often. Anyway, look, random spatter. Okay, you can use your Stampin' Write marker. You can use your blends, but they're expensive and you don't want to wreck them. So we're up to this point now, and I'm going to use a little bit of Wink of Stella on that tiny little bee's wings. So I'm going to give this a good shake because it's been sitting here for a little while. I hope that didn't shake the camera then. And I'm just going to be very, very gentle. Just put a little bit on the wings. There we go. Right, that's our colouring done. That was very quick. So we've got this beautiful masked panel. We've stamped over the top of it. We've done some colouring. We're nearly finished this card. That's how quick it is. So I want to mount that onto my black piece, and if I can find my glue, we'll be in business. Oh my goodness, I hope there's some in this one. Let's see. Yep, good. Oops. Okay, now if you want to know about my glue holder, you'll need to go back through my YouTube channel. There are a couple of references to it, and I actually made a video showing you how I made it, i.e. put it together and what it is, okay? But there we go. So now I'm going to pop that aside and do some die cutting very, very quickly. I'm going to use my small mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. That's too many words for me, so Bertha. I'm going to pop the plate there. I've already put this on here with, this is just a scrap of basic black. I've got some removable tape on there, so I'm just going to pop that through there now. And very, very easy to roll this through. And very, very light. And it's very compact. So back on the shelf. Put my plates. When you buy one of the stamp and cut and emboss machines, you get all the plates that you need, okay, to cut and emboss. You can emboss with them as well. So I'm just going to pop that out, and look how lovely that is. Beautiful. Let's pop that in there, and we'll get this going. So we've glued that. We want to pop these up onto dimensionals, and I've been really liking these long strip ones. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, scissors. Still can't find my other scissors, so I'm going to just cut a couple, and they are a little bit higher than our normal Stampin' Dimensionals. Not a great deal, but just a little bit higher. And they're great for shaker cards. And we might put that one there like that. We might cut another little piece like this. Oops. Put this piece on there. Does it fit? No, it does not. Hold on. Hold your horses, honey. Just talk amongst yourselves. There we go. And that little bit, we will not waste this little piece. Look how tiny it is, but you know what? I have the perfect spot for that. It's going right there. Okay. So, yeah, they're different to our normal Stampin' Dimensionals in as far as they're hexagonal. This is like in strips, and you can get them this size, and I think you can get them long size. I got those out of one of the kits that we had, and yeah, I'm really liking them. So we'll just take this off here now. These nails are hopeless for doing stuff like that. And this is going to be offset. Now I put it around there on this one, and it covered up a bit of the flowers, so we might just no, you know what, it has to go there. I reckon it has to go there. So I'm actually putting it so that it's hanging over the edge just slightly. Just hanging over the edge there a little bit. And hang on, I just dropped something. Don't know what that was. Anyway, so now we've got our piece of baker's twine. And normally I just tape it at the back with a bit of sticky tape or washi tape. I've got some washi tape here. I might use that today. I just put it into a tape dispenser just for ease of handling. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this around to the back and secure that. And then secure this piece as well. I'll just make sure I've got it straight. Okay, that looks about, no, bit higher, no, bit lower. Oh, gosh, there we go. Stick it before you change your mind. Okay, So again, we are nearly there. So I'm going to put that onto our card front. And you can see that that does just stick out just slightly, but I liked the way that that went. So yeah. So you don't need a ton of glue, just a little bit of glue on that baker's twine as well. Make sure your card opens the right way. And there we go. Now there's a couple of extra things we've got to do. So we've got to make a bow. Got to make a beautiful little bow, and I just do rabbit ears. If you've never seen this done before, you make 2 loops and just tie them as you would a normal knot. When you get to that point, just bring that bit over, and that seems to work every time for me. Now you'll notice one piece controls how big the loops are. So when you're happy with the size of your bow, you need to pull it tight. There we go. And that is going on the front with, actually that's a bit too big, that one. That's going to go on the front with a glue dot. And here they are, glue dots. Oh, that's the crazy one where they're all on the wrong way. Okay, here we go. So I take the bow to the glue dot and I press it into the glue dot, and then I just turn that back onto itself. Or you can roll it into a little sausage, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. And here's our little bow. So I thought I'd put it around about there. Now, not only does that secure the bow, but it kind of captures this piece in as well. And I thought to finish that off, we need some, what are they called? Classic matte dots. So they come in black, the grey, the very vanilla, and white. And as you can see, I haven't used a lot of these, so I should use more of them. But anyway, so we want 3. So I think we'll put, where did I put them on this one? Let's check. So I put one here, a big one up there, and they're quite 3D, these. I put one down here somewhere, and we'll put the other one. We might put the other one here. So we've got our little visual triangle happening there. And that, as they say, is that. Now I'm going to go through the items that I've used again. I've got them written down here, mostly written down here. Now this is the one I made previously. This is the one I've just made. And they look a bit orange because I coloured them in the Daffodil Delight first, and I didn't like it. It wasn't dark enough. But anyway, so we have our black matte, which is 14.4 by 10.1. The basic white, which is 13.8 by 9.5. We had a scrap of black. I embossed that using my embossing buddy and the Versamark and our white embossing powder. The Stampin' Up masking paper was used to create this beautiful panel of colour. And then the stamp sets were the Queen Bee, the beautiful flower from the Queen Bee and the little bee, And the sentiment was from the Charming Sentiments, which I think this is the best sentiment set there is, given that it comes with, well, it doesn't come with those dies anymore, I don't believe, but there are dies that will cut them out. Like, it looks all the world like someone's fussy cut them. And I think if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that I really don't like fussy cutting. So I think that's a nice little card. Everything's written down here if you want to quickly write those numbers down, if you can read my horrible writing. And I'll see you on the next video. Now, don't forget, we've also still got our 15% off our gorgeous designer series papers at the moment. So if you're looking to buy some papers, yeah, now's the time to do it. It is selected papers, which I've already run through on a previous video. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that technique. Yeah, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.